Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, thank you for your service to our country. I was pleased to hear, in response to one of my colleagues' questions earlier, just a little while ago, you said that the debt, these matters, and I quote, should be taken seriously. When you and I talked last year during this hearing, you said, and again I quote, it is desirable to reduce deficits. Do you still feel that way, Madam Secretary?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. The chart I have here, and I don't know if you can see it, hopefully you can catch it, but this is the next 10 years and compares the 2023 proposal by the President, budget proposal, and 2024. I have directly from the budget these sheets. And what it shows is that this proposal, 2024 compared to 2023, increases deficits further year over year. And the orange on here is your new proposal compared to what you were proposing last year. You see some significant difference in the early years, but it never is reduced over the proposals from last year. And on your totals on this sheet, you're proposing over the next 10 years today, $17 trillion in additional deficits and debt, as opposed to 12 months ago, you were proposing $14 trillion total in deficits and debt. So my question is today, why are you proposing $3 trillion higher deficits than you proposed last year?
Well, excuse me, the budget contains a table, Table S2, that shows the effect of the budget proposals on projected deficits, and that illustrates.
Do you disagree with my characterization?
I do disagree, because what this table shows is that the President's proposals result in additional deficit reduction relative to the 2023 baseline of close to $3 trillion.
Could you point out which year there are?
I can barely see your
could you,
chart, but I can
Could you look at your sheet and tell me which year there are lower deficits than what you had proposed last year?
Well, for example, starting in 2025, the projected deficits in the baseline were 6.7%, and in the President's proposal.
That was not your baseline last year. That is CBO's baseline, which is far higher than what you were projecting last year. So essentially you're saying our policies created higher deficits than you had projected last year, and now we're going to take credit for reducing those higher deficits by $3 million. Am I right on that? Or $3 trillion?
Relative to where we were before this budget was issued and the deficits that we would have seen, this budget projects
nobody outside of the Beltway will look at your proposal compared to the proposals last year. We'll look at your proposal compared to what has actually happened. We'll look at a chart like this, which is taken directly from your numbers, and say that we're reducing the deficit. And it's a shame, because we both agree that long term, we're on a wrong fiscal trajectory. We must do something about it, and this budget does nothing. In fact, it adds to the deficits and debts that we've been experiencing. So again, no one else would believe that we're reducing the deficits with your budget. Thank you.